We are going to get extremely involved in the exciting early phases of the market's current upward trend, which appears to be a particularly interesting and lucrative time for alternative cryptocurrencies. This trend is expected to continue for the foreseeable future. To begin, let's begin with an observation made by one of the most well-known people in the industry. The 4-hour relative susceptibility index for the Wolf of Wall Street's Bitcoin market has been reset, which indicates that it has been oversold. Because we are watching for the arrival of bullish signs which imply that there is a divergence between it's possible that the correction period is coming to a close position right now is a really significant time. Position right now is really essential because we have been talking about the importance of making an essential course correction, and now that we are positioned in a zone that is primed and ready for an ever-increasing trajectory, we want to let you know that we have been discussing the necessity of a brief setback. It is possible to feel the energy in the sector, particularly in the cryptocurrency space, and it is expanding. In addition to the findings that were derived from my research, the insiders from rival industries who are working towards a bull run include a number of founders or former CEOs. Debates on the bull have been rekindled as a result. In spite of the fact that you are aware, now is the time to educate yourself and get yourself prepared to meet you in the market. First, we'll get the BlackRock ETF or XRP out of the way. It has been established beyond a shadow of a doubt that BlackRock XRP is not an exchange-traded fund. The accurate information regarding this investment vehicle can be found here. It is essential for us to keep up with the most recent news and move on with the understanding that the suspicions that are particularly intense regarding the XRP exchange-traded fund ETF offered by BlackRock was only a rumor. But since it is over with, we can move on with our lives. It is critical to keep one's attention on what is in store for the future. In spite of this, we find that it is incredibly fascinating. Investigate the effects that this rumor had on the movement of the XRP price, which gives us the opportunity to gain some insight into the possible reactions of the market should a true XRP exchange-traded fund ever be launched by BlackRock. Don't forget to take this into consideration, and as we move forward, could you provide me some insight into the ideas you have? Now that we have that out of the way, let's talk about the most pressing problem we have today. As a result of the XRP news, the market experienced agitation which led to a breakdown. It is really necessary to keep a watchful eye out at all times and contacted with what was supposed to be BlackRock XRP. However, one thing that can never be argued about is the fact that the next milestone, which will take place this month, will represent a very important milestone in the SWIFT ISO standard. This is something that will never be questioned. Execution number 222 in accordance with what was mentioned on the official website for SWIFT, which is focused on the future. The month of November of this year will go down in history as an important month in terms of the general architecture that forms the backbone of our continuously expanding financial system. In addition to the live and pilot services that are now running, achieving full functionality as the world's giants in the financial industry are definitely marking these dates down on their calendars. This will occur in addition to the live and pilot services that are currently running. SWIFT will be receiving significant system updates in the near future. Transform their approach with the assistance of the presentation provided by the Business Transaction Manager. The revised version will succeed the older one. This November will be the month in which the system is ready for usage, and it will be able to handle messaging that ranges from the traditional to the comprehensive orchestration of transactions. The achievement by this month's APIS of all transactions based on the ISO and 2200 standards, clearing the door for possible incorporation of blockchain technology, is more than just a date on the calendar. The calendar reveals that today is the first day of the commencement of a new year, a moment in the history of financial infrastructure that was revolutionary. Let's make sure that this is crystal obvious before we move on. Everyone, please take into consideration that we are not just talking about theories here. This proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that the documentation, the compliance with the regulations, the reports, and the incorporation of the blockchain capabilities are all pointing in the right way right now in front of our own eyes. There is still a possibility that some of my advice will consist of suggesting that you choose skepticism over belief. Don't let their reservations impact your decision. We are heading in the correct direction. George Ava is the leader of the organization. In spite of the fact that it has been said that digital assets are trustworthy, coins like George Ava, market volatility is likely to remain for the foreseeable future as well. Place an emphasis on the significance of making improvements in the system of foreign payments so that it can become less expensive, more efficient, and speedier. Let's get down to business in combination with the ongoing operations of ISO and SWIFT improvements to date that are now taking place. The danger signs have been present ever since I started working as a content provider, which has been the source of the majority of the challenges I've had to overcome. For the purpose of not merely debating what the elites are saying, but also for the purpose of putting things into context with everything else I've covered on my channel, not only does XRP have the capability of echoing the language that is now utilized by the IMF, but this capability is also a component of XRP. It is not acceptable as a solution to the problems that are being discussed when all of that is taken into consideration, and that is why it is unsuitable within the context of the conversation. The International Monetary Fund has begun working with Brad Garlinghouse of Ripple, who has recently established a connection with them. The potential for XRP to be involved is a component that contributes to this engagement among the waves becoming even more interesting. In addition, there is more to the International Monetary Fund, sometimes known as the IMF, than just a simple get-together. A crucial indication that the promise is on its way to being fulfilled is the possible part that XRP could play in the transformation of the way we are currently viewing the international financial landscape. Seeing how many branches of technology and finance are converging with the effect that previously accepted practices are being called into question and given new consideration as a direct result of innovations like blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. In that case, could you perhaps elaborate on what precisely this entails? This entails maintaining vigilance for the benefit of our viewers. It is essential to maintain one's level of education and keep one step ahead of the curve when it comes to being aware of the fact that the globe and the financial system as we know them are undergoing transformations. XRP and other digital assets are at the center of, and this transformation is the vanguard of this change. It is not only about financial investments and opportunities, it is also about being a part of a community that has a great deal of financial revolution that offers the possibility for higher levels of efficiency, transparency, and accessibility as we continue to delve further into the topic. These technological improvements serve as a timely reminder of it. Skepticism, much like progress, is a characteristic that comes naturally to humans. It is obviously clear that this is a time marked by both rapid change and enormous opportunities, and we are here to assist you in pursuing those opportunities. The indicators are visible in every direction, and the statements from the heads of financial institutions state that it is abundantly clear that this is the time. Discover the many unique features of this terrain by exploring it. Consider some of the key times that we've had in the past. I was present and saw both Ripple and a straggler. Successes were not a fluke, as evidenced by the fact that Ripple's representatives were in the same rooms at the same time at the World Economic Forum, which was recognized by the financial institution as evidence of Ripple's legal standing in overseas transactions. Significant historical events that, in my opinion, were designed to deflect public attention from the question of whether or not Bitcoin is the most valuable digital asset in the world, a question that banks and other financial institutions have been pondering for over a decade. Choosing overthink at XRP is now like unearthing a priceless gem that was sitting in plain sight the whole time. That's all for now.
If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, make sure you turn on the notifications to be the first to know when I release new content. I'm excited to catch up with you in the upcoming video. Take care. Decisions. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up.